MrBeast might be the king of spending millions, but what if I told you he's not the only YouTuber throwing around absurd amounts of money? There are others who flex their wealth in ways that make even MrBeast's spending look tame. From million-dollar Pokemon cards to luxury cars given away like candy, these YouTubers have turned their fortunes into wild, extravagant lifestyles. Let's start with someone who treats Pokemon cards like Wall Street stocks. Imagine spending $5.2 million on a single Pokemon card. No, not a deck, not a collection, just one card. Sounds insane, right? Well, Logan Paul did exactly that. And just to make sure the world knew, he wore it around his neck like a championship belt in a WWE match. Because when you're rich, why not turn a childhood hobby into a flex? But that's just the tip of Logan's spending iceberg. He owns a Bugatti Chiron worth $1.5 million, multiple mansions, and spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on designer clothes, watches, and private jet trips. And let's not forget Prime Energy, the billion-dollar empire he co-founded, making sure he never runs out of cash to burn. Oh, and remember that $150,000 Charizard card he bought? Yeah, he lost it in a bet. Must be nice to have that kind of money to gamble with. Now, Logan Paul's business partner, KSI, isn't exactly living on a budget either. This guy went from making FIFA gaming videos to dropping platinum albums, knocking people out in boxing rings, and co-owning one of the most successful energy drink brands ever. But let's talk about his spending habits. KSI owns a Lamborghini Aventador because, well, why not? He also dropped $200,000 on a Rolex just because he was bored. And when it comes to his music career, he pours millions into producing high-budget music videos that look like Hollywood blockbusters. But KSI's biggest financial roller coaster? Crypto. He once lost over $5 million in cryptocurrency and laughed it off. If that happened to me, I'd be looking up how to live off instant noodles for life. Next up, the man who punches his way to millions, Jake Paul. This guy turned from a Disney Channel actor into a pro boxer who cashes in on every fight. And what does he do with that money? Blow it in the most ridiculous ways possible. Jake owns multiple mansions, including a $10 million house in Puerto Rico. His car collection? Ridiculous. We're talking Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, and a custom-wrapped Bugatti. And then there's his obsession with jewelry. While his brother Logan Paul made headlines with a $5.2 million Pokemon card chain, Jake has also spent a fortune on custom diamond pieces, including high-end watches and luxury chains. But the craziest spending moment? He once dropped $1 million on a prank war with his friends. Imagine looking at your bank account and deciding, yeah, I'm gonna spend 7 figures just to mess with people. Now let's talk about a guy who gives away more cars than a dealership, David Dobrik. This dude made it his brand to surprise his friends, fans, and even random strangers with luxury cars, Teslas, and stacks of cash. David has given away over 30 luxury cars, spent millions on gifts, and owns a $9.5 million mansion in Los Angeles that looks like something out of a futuristic movie. And here's the best part, he barely spends his own money. Most of his giveaways are sponsored, meaning brands are literally paying him to flex. Talk about winning the system. One of his craziest spending moments? He bought his friend a Tesla just because he was feeling generous, and then did it again. Imagine getting a Tesla twice just for knowing a rich YouTuber. Alright, if you think MrBeast gives away money like a madman, wait until you see Steve Will do it. This guy isn't just a YouTuber, he's a human ATM that never runs out of cash. Steve has bought strangers luxury watches, given away houses, and thrown cash out of moving cars just for the fun of it. He once walked into a store, bought every Rolex in stock, and then handed them out like party favors. Who does that? His spending is so wild that people genuinely wonder if he's a real person or a glitch in the simulation, because when you can casually give away a Rolls Royce on a whim, you've reached a different level of financial insanity. Next on our list is FaZe Rug, one of the biggest YouTubers from the gaming scene who has now transitioned into an all-out luxury lifestyle influencer. He's got millions rolling in, and he's spending them just as fast. From a multi-million-dollar mansion in San Diego to a collection of exotic cars, FaZe Rug loves to live big. He has bought designer clothes worth tens of thousands of dollars in a single shopping spree and once dropped a ridiculous amount of cash just to decorate his house with custom furniture. And let's not forget his over-the-top top giveaways, where he surprises fans and family members with dream gifts. Whether it's cash, tech gadgets, or even a brand new car, FaZe Rug knows how to make spending money in art form. Aaron Miney, better known as Mr. Who's the Boss, isn't just your average tech reviewer. He's a full-blown luxury tech connoisseur. While most YouTubers flex cars or mansions, Aaron's idea of extravagant spending involves testing some of the rarest, most expensive gadgets on the planet. We're talking about gold-plated smartphones, foldable laptops worth more than a Tesla, and high-end gaming setups that cost as much as a house. His channel has become a hub for people who love seeing the most over-the-top tech toys, and he spares no expense when it comes to delivering the most detailed, high-quality reviews. If there's a $100,000 diamond-encrusted phone on the market, you bet Mr. Who's the Boss is buying it just to show you whether it's worth it. Before every YouTuber started flexing million-dollar lifestyles, Rice Gum was already living like a rap mogul. At the peak of his fame, he was burning through millions on designer clothing, luxury watches, high-end gaming setups, and exotic vacations. He became infamous for his over-the-top lifestyle vlogs, where he casually spent thousands on Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Supreme just because he could. His mansion in Los Angeles was the ultimate YouTuber flex, complete with custom decor, expensive cars in the driveway, and a gaming setup worth more than some people's entire houses. Though he's less active on YouTube today, his legacy is one of the original YouTube millionaires who knew how to flaunt his cash lives on. When it comes to reckless spending and wild partying, no one does it quite like the Nelk Boys. These guys don't just make videos, they turn their lives into one long, non-stop luxury adventure. From private jets and yacht parties to throwing down six figures in casinos, they live like real-life rock stars. Their Full Send brand has made them millions, allowing them to rent out entire nightclubs, host insane parties, and even buy cars just to destroy them in pranks. While other YouTubers reinvest their money into businesses, the Nelk Boys invest in having the most fun possible, no matter the cost. If there's a party somewhere in the world that costs a fortune to attend, you can bet the Nelk Boys are already on a first-class flight to it. PewDiePie might not be as flashy as some of the other YouTubers on this list, but don't let that fool you. He's sitting on an absolute fortune and spends it in surprisingly extravagant ways. Unlike others who splash cash on parties, PewDiePie's spending leans more toward rare collector items, luxurious home purchases, and high-end tech setups. He's bought stunning homes in Sweden and Japan, carefully curating minimalist yet expensive designs that scream wealth in a subtle way. He's also obsessed with high-end gaming and production setups, dropping tens of thousands of dollars on top-tier PCs, cameras, and studio equipment. Though he doesn't flex his wealth often, when he does, it's clear PewDiePie has built a quiet empire that allows him to live like a king, without needing to show off. Alright, so who really spends money like MrBeast? If we're talking about pure giveaways, David Dobrik takes the crown. If it's about flexing and buying unnecessary luxury, that's Jake Paul. If we're talking smart money making and spending, Logan Paul and KSI are dominating. But if we're talking about the craziest, most reckless spender, Steve Will Do It might actually have MrBeast be. But at the end of the day, no one does it quite like MrBeast. He's not just spending for fun, he's reinvesting in content, making his money work for him. While the others are flexing, MrBeast is building an empire. So which YouTuber do you think spends the craziest? Drop a comment below and let's settle this debate once and for all. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insane content. See you in the next one.